So what is the advantage of having a self-standing police force versus just allowing an expansion of the sheriff's responsibilities?
First, David, let me start off by saying that I'd like to keep the merger in place. I think it's in the best interest of the city of Savannah. And I'm one of the few people who think it's good for Savannah, it's good for the county. But now, just because I feel that way doesn't mean I can make it happen. They've got to feel and appreciate the benefit of staying merged, and I don't think the city of Savannah has that appreciation. So the decision has been made that we'll stand up a separate department. Now, as far as expanding the sheriff department, I'm a countywide elected official, so is the sheriff. I'm not going to delegate my authority to protect the unincorporated area to the sheriff. The other thing that I'm concerned with, that one of the things you want in trying to protect a neighborhood, you want some sort of consistency. We have a sheriff now that I have a good relationship with. 3 years from now, we don't know who's the sheriff. The qualification for sheriff is not the same as the qualification for chief of police. There's a lot more expectation with the chief of police than it is with the sheriff. Now, I broached this subject with the last sheriff, and he wouldn't hear of it, that if you were to put a law enforcement contingency in the sheriff to police the unincorporated area on a daily basis, that person would have some reporting arrangements to the county manager. And the sheriff says, whoever works in this department reports to me and no one else. Well, I understand that. What we want and what we expect from a chief of police is not the same qualification from the sheriff. And so I just don't think it's in the best interest of the unincorporated area to have consistency year after year after year in law enforcement, to have expectations, to have goals and objectives, none of which you can set for a sheriff.
Yeah. Yet 145 some odd counties in this state do just that.
Well, what you've got is all of your small counties, many of whom I visit over the years. I perhaps have been to every county in Georgia in a past life as labor commissioner. But the difference is that you got a small community with a lot more input to the sheriff from the day-to-day citizen than you would have in a metro area. In metro areas, for instance, you got the Fulton County Police, you got the Fulton County Sheriff Department. You've got that in all urban areas. Now, we have not had the sheriff in charge of law enforcement here in over 100 years. And there's a reason why. When it was not working. And we've seen sheriff last as low as 2 years in this county in the past. And then we've had sheriff serve for 20 plus years. But the qualification to be sheriff is pretty minimum. And what we want in a chief of police is going to be a lot more qualification, a lot more experience in training.
The difference in expense worth that?
I don't think you can put a price on law enforcement or protecting public safety. I think the citizens of the unincorporated area have to feel as if they're safe and they've got the very best people running that police department. That person will have to have extraordinary skills. He would have to have the ability to meet with all these local, what I call community groups, neighborhood associations, to ease their fare, to encourage them to participate in law enforcement, because that's how you solve crimes, with citizens' participation. And so that's the kind of person I'm looking to bring on.
Yeah. The sheriff is convinced that what you're saying is really the opposite, that he should be doing this, and he should be doing this because it's going to save the taxpayers a lot of money, because he's certainly qualified, his guys are sworn officers.
I've looked at it up one side and down the other, and I've heard all kind of crazy numbers that the sheriff department could do it for 11 million, 12 million. One time somebody said 8 million. And then they said, but that's based on you furnishing all the cars, you furnishing all the equipment. Well, when you add all that stuff in, the price goes back very much close to what we can have a stand-up department for, when all the hidden costs in. And that's where we're at with it. Now, if the sheriff had ran and the public, when they voted on it, knew that he would be their chief of police, that'd be a different subject.